the gospel according to St. John chapter 20, John chapter 20, and thank you. It's a victory day, and thanks for joining us for this special Victory Sunday on This is the Day that the Lord has made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it. And in John chapter 20, reading at verse number 19. On the evening of that first day of the week, when the disciples were together with the door locked for fear of the Jewish leaders, Jesus came and stood among them and said, "Peace be to you." After he said this, he showed them his hands and said the disciples were overjoyed with them and saw the Lord. Again, Jesus said, "Peace be with you. As the Father has sent me, I am now sending you." And I want to back up to verse number 1. Early on the first day of the week, while it was still dark, Mary Magdalene went to the tomb and saw that the stone had been removed from the entrance. So she came. Somebody holler, she came. So she came running to Simon Peter and the other disciples, the one whom Jesus loved, and said, "They have taken the Lord out of the tomb, and we don't know where they have laid him." I want you to jump back down to verse number 19. Verse number 19. On the evening of that first day of the week, when the disciples were together with the doors locked for fear of the Jewish leaders, Jesus came and stood among them and said, "Peace be with you." After he said this, he showed them his hands. The word of God for the people of God. Thanks be unto God. Listen, there are moments in life when it feels like the hand you've been dealt with is not a winning hand. There are seasons when what you are holding does not match what you are hoping for. Today, in the time that I have, I want to teach and preach from the subject, winning with the hand you've been dealt. Winning with the hand you've been dealt. Take one and pass it down. Deacon Pat, take one and pass it down. Winning with the hand you've been dealt. I won't need you today. Thank you. Appreciate it. Winning with the hand you've been dealt. Chad, come here, take them, pass them down. Dwayne, take them and pass them down for me. Winning with the hand you've been dealt. That's what I want to talk about on today. Look at you and say, I may not have the winning hand, but I'm going to win with the hand I've been dealt. Now, many of you, if you have a card in your hand, you know that game that is called Uno. And I have been fascinated with Uno because I have the privilege of raising Cam and Chloe. And one of the things that Cam and Chloe and I do in order to decide what movie we're going to be watching is we've got to play Uno. Because sometimes Chloe wants to watch something and Cam wants to watch something and Auntie Jazzy wants to watch golf. And it bothers them that all I watch on television is sports. And so we came up with this rule that moving forward, the winner, somebody holler the winner. The winner gets to control the remote for the rest of the night. Now, for so far, Chloe is in the lead in regards to getting it. Anywhere we go, anytime we're doing anything, and we have to have a three-way tie. Where we going to eat today? I want Red Lobster. I want Chick-fil-A. Uno comes out. Anytime we decide that we're going to be roller skating or we're going to be bowling, hello somebody, Uno comes out. And the winner always decide where we're going to eat. In fact, they decide where we are going to sleep. Well, sometimes life can give you a bad hand. There are moments in life when it feels like the hand you've been dealt is not winning. Give me the remainder of my cards, please. There are seasons where what you are holding does not match. Thank you so very much. Does not match what you're hoping for. I need you to look at the card in your hand and say, I'm going to win with the hand I've been dealt. Now, some of you looked at the card and you don't like what the card is. You don't like the color. You don't like the sign, whatever it is. But you're going to win with the hand you've been dealt. You see, some of you have been dealt disappointment. Some of you have been dealt delay. Some of you have been dealt rejection. Some of you have been dealt fear. Some of you have been dealt bitterness. Some of you have been dealt betrayal. And some of you, the doors have not been open and you're sitting there. But if we are honest, there are times where you have looked at life and asked God, how am I supposed to win with this hand? Anybody know what I'm talking about? How am I supposed to win with this hand? How am I supposed to win after going through a divorce? How am I supposed to win after going through death? How am I supposed to win after going through tragedy? I've asked my question this week because on this Victory Sunday, I had assumed we'd be already in our building. On this Victory Sunday, I assumed we already had a praise team and a choir. On this Victory Sunday, I assumed that we will not be in a studio, but we will be in a sanctuary. And all this week, I was pondering the question, God, how in the world you expect me to win with the hand I have been dealt? Because it does not look like a winning hand. Yeah. When you don't have choir, it doesn't look like a winning hand. When you don't have a praise team, it doesn't look like a winning hand. When you can't bring people in the building, it does not look like a winning hand. When you're trying to figure out how to deal with the children's church, it does not look like a winning hand. How in the world am I supposed to win with the hands that has been dealt? It does not look like it, and it does not feel like a winning hand. And certainly, this does not look like a setup for victory. Right. It does not look like a setup for victory where everybody comes to church on Sunday looking for lights, camera, and action. But the resurrection of Jesus teaches us something that will shift your entire perspective. God does not need a perfect hand to produce victory. I got to say that again to wait. I said, God does not need a perfect hand to produce victory. If the kids are coming in, the kids are upstairs. That's a good place to take them. They're upstairs. My apologies. Somebody should tell. The kids are upstairs. They're running around getting candy. I'll take her up there if I were you. Because God does not need a perfect hand to produce victory. Look at her and say, I'm going to win with the hand I got. Come on, tell us, say, I'm going to win with the hand I got. Because the resurrection teaches you and I that God does not need a perfect hand to produce a powerful victory. Because when Jesus went to the cross, it looked defeated. When Jesus went to the cross, he did not have a winning hand. Just think about Good Friday. It got dark that night. Just think about Good Friday. They stretched him wide. Just think about Good Friday. They hang him high. Just think about Good Friday. Even Jesus felt like he had a bad hand. Listen to the words he spoke on the cross. My God, why hast thou forsaken me? Anybody been there? That you feel like God has forsaken you. That he's blessing everybody but you. Opening doors for everybody but you. Making ways for everybody but you. It looks like everything on Good Friday has fallen apart. That's why I hate that Judas hanged himself, because if Judas had stayed along longer, if he had not killed himself, if he had just waited for Sunday, he would have learned that he could have won with the hand that's been given. Yes, on Good Friday, it looked like hope had been lost. It looked like the story had ended in failure. Everything about Friday said lost. Everything about Saturday said silent. But early Sunday morning, I wish somebody said early Sunday morning, God turned what looked like a losing hand into the greatest victory in history. And I don't know how I came to preach to this morning, but I came to declare over you. I came to declare over your life. You can still win with the hand you've been dealt. You can still win in spite of chemo. You can still win in spite of the radiation. I've come to prophesy to somebody this morning that resurrection changes everything. I I said resurrection changes everything. You can win even with a bad hand. Let me share a couple of points with you, then I'll get out of here. What looked like a loss was a divine setup for victory. What looked like a loss was a divine setup for victory. The Bible said the women, somebody hollered the women. Now I told you guys I was here at 6:30 this morning. I don't know what kind of email went out. I'm not responsible for the email, but the invitation was sent out to everybody that you can join me at 6:30 a.m. in person. I said it will not be in Zoom. It will not be in Zoom. It's only going to be on Facebook and YouTube, but you can come in the studio. Look at him and say, you got to read. Reading is fundamental to your health. That's what the email should have said. If it didn't say that, we apologize. And so this morning I walked in here, and sure enough, when I got in here, the relevant question when I was walking in my building, my phone rang. Somebody holler your phone. My phone rang, and it was Nikki Parrish, the Chief Ministry Officer. Nikki called me at 6:15 this morning, and she had a question. She said it's a victory day, so she got a point for that. And then she went in to proceed to ask me a question. It's 6:15. I'm going live at 6:30, and Nikki Parrish asked me a question. The question is, in fact, she made a statement before she asked the question. She said, Pastor, my mother is on her way to the 6:30 service. I said, wonderful. She could have stayed right there. And then she said, I was wondering how she gonna get in. Did y'all hear what Nikki asked me? At 6:15 in the morning, I'm getting ready to preach at 6:30. Now, y'all know I give the cussing for Lent. But thank God it ends tonight. As soon as the sun goes down, I'm going to call her and cuss her out. At 6:15 in the morning, Nikki calls me and says, Pastor, it's a victory day. My mom is on her way to the service, and she wants to know how her mama is going to get in. Now, Nikki has a good reason, because the door is locked. How's she going to get in? Y'all didn't read the text, because it said early that night the door was locked. My God. Y'all got to read your text. I'm not trying to put Nikki underwater. I'm not trying to destroy Nikki's character. I'm trying to tie it to the text. The door was locked. Oh my! And Jesus did not call Nikki or the pastor to say how I'm going to get in. Jesus walked through the door. My God. You got it, you got it. And I said to Nikki, I'm sure your mama can figure that out. Okay, that's exactly what I said. I was sure. And she figured it out. Where's Speaker Pat Martin? There she is. Exhibit number 1, she figured it out. I don't know if she broke the door. I don't know if she called through the door. But I figured 80-something-year-old woman can figure out. She went to Greece, she figured that out. She got on a plane, she figured that out. She played lotto in Vegas, she figured, surely she know how to get in. Yeah. Are y'all catching what I'm saying? Because what looked like a locked door was really an open door. I'm trying to tell y'all something. What looked like defeat really became victory. Are y'all catching what I'm saying? And so the text said the women came, and I was just amazed and fascinated that this morning I was just shouting. I was tickling pink. Now, when I say all of this, it's not to condemn you, so don't leave church feeling bad. I just catch it as illustration, because it dawned on me. Here's what I told somebody who needed to be here was here. Oh my God. And Jessica came, and Jessica said, I'm not a morning person, Pastor. So here was the litmus test. I said, God, if you wake me up early, I'm supposed to be there. She woke up 15 minutes than she normally does, and so she was supposed to be here. But this morning it dawned on me that the women who was in John chapter 20 and John chapter 19 were the same women up in here. It was 3 women. Hello, somebody. It was 3 women who came in here this morning. And John chapter 20 started off saying, early that morning, the women, oh my God. Okay, y'all caught. The women was at the tomb. Are you catching what I'm saying? The women were at the tomb looking for Jesus. And what looked like a divine loss was a divine setup for victory. The women came to the tomb expecting one thing, hello, sir, but encountering something differently. I said the women came expecting one thing. Nudge him and say, what you came for? What you came for? Come on, get an answer. Say, what woke you up this morning? What made you pass all these churches that had praise team and choir and has ushers and greeters and parking lots attendants and 1,000 eggs in the grass for kids? What make you dare to get dressed and to come into this place and there's only a preacher on the... What brought you here this morning? And some of you might have come with one expectation, but you're going to encounter something completely different. Oh, some of you might have come depressed, you might have come sad, you might have come frustrated, but you came and God is going to meet your need. They came, listen, they came expecting to see death. And I think some of y'all came to see if I can preach on Easter without an organ. Some of y'all came to see if I can preach on Easter without a piano. Some of us came to see if I'm still the daughter of thunder without a high-tech screen. But listen, the stuff didn't make me, I make all of it. Hello, somebody. And I said, well, I may not have none of them. What I do have is a word from the Lord. And man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeded out of the mouth. They came expecting to see death, but instead they experienced life. Oh, yes, I will. I said they came looking for one thing, but they experienced something. They came prepared to moan, but ended up witnessing a miracle. They moved from moaning to miracle, my God, because what they thought was the end was actually a transition. Look at you, they will say, we are in transition. Come on, say, I'm in transition. You know why I can shout this morning? Because last Easter we were in Zoom. Yeah. Okay, y'all missed it. I said last Easter we were in Zoom. This Easter we in a studio. Next Easter we in a sanctuary. We are in. I said we are in transition, and that is where people get stuck. You get stuck in transition. You are calling it over while God is calling it a setup. You are calling it finished while God is calling it preparation. You are calling it loss while God is calling it a launching pad. My God. Oh, I wish I had some. Look at me, say, we're just on a launching pad. Every rocket needs a launching pad. Every plane needs a runway. This is not our finish line. This is our starting point. Oh, and I need you to hear me clearly, VGC. Just because it looks dead does not mean God is done. I said just because it looks dead does not mean God is done. There are situations in your life that feels final, dreams that feel buried, opportunities that feel closed, relationships that feels over. But resurrection teaches us that God can take what looks like an ending and turn it into a beginning. Look at you and say, this is just our beginning. Yeah. That's the wrong name. It said, this is just our beginning. That brings me to point number 2, and that is Jesus won with the scars in his hands. Oh God, what did I say? Jesus won with the what? With the scars in his hand. Jesus won with scars. When Jesus rose from the dead, he did not erase the scars, he kept them. Oh my God. I said he did not erase the scars, he kept them. Not only did he keep them, he showed them. Or not only did he show them, he revealed them. Yet you cannot have victory and don't have scars, because scars were not signs of defeat, they were proof of victory. Oh God. Look at you and say, look at my scars. Come on, say, look at my scars. The scars were not signs of defeat, they were proof of victory. You see, you look too good for somebody to think you've been through through anything. You look so good on Sunday, they forgot you had crucified Friday. You look so good on Sunday, they forgot you were betrayed on Thursday. You look so good on Sunday, they forgot that the people walked away on you on Wednesday. You look so good on Sunday, they forgot that the people in the temple tried to stone you on Tuesday. You look so good on Sunday, they forgot last Sunday that the same crowd who cried Hosanna is the same crowd that said crucify him. And that's why you got to stop hiding your scars, because people think you ain't been through nothing. Look at your neighbor and say, if you knew the stuff I've been through, if you know the stuff I'm going through, I should be dead and buried in my grave, but I got scars. Look at him and say, I got scars. You know, I thought Cam and Chloe, one of my goals was I thought I can raise perfect young people. I thought I did everything in my way possible to make sure that they don't have any scars. And so when I bought them scooters, I bought them the shin pad for their elbows, their knees, and their heads. And then when I bought them the bicycles, I would make sure that I've clothed them up just in case they fall. And I realized even with all of the protection I put on them, just the other day, Chloe comes in and she said, I got a cut. I said, how you got a cut? I put everything on you to protect you. And I realized falling is inevitable. That's the only way you can grow, baby. I said, that's the only way. That's the only way. That's the only way you can grow. At 3 o'clock today, we're going to be watching the championship game. And we remember that black woman, the coach, who messed up last year, lost last, but now she's coming back this year. Hello, somebody. She got scars. Hello, somebody. And hey, listen, be careful of the people who are in your life who ain't got no scars. Oh, ain't nobody who been through nothing can tell me nothing. If you never fallen, you can't tell me how to get up. If you never fail, you can't tell me how to succeed. I'm scared of all these new preachers who just popped up out of everywhere and who ain't been through nothing. And some of us, we just follow them because they got good nursery rhyme. They got lights, camera, and they got action. But they ain't been through nothing. Give me a preacher that got scars. I said, give me a preacher that got scars. I want to know if you've been through something. I want to know if you experienced something. And I believe I got some people in here who can say, I was young and now I'm old. But I've never seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread. Because the scars are not signs of defeat. They are proof of victory. The very thing that wounded him became the evidence that he overcame it. Oh, God. Did y'all care? I said the very thing that wounded Jesus showed the evidence that he overcame it. Y'all remember the movie Forrest Gump? Anybody seen the movie? Y'all remember Forrest Gump? I love Forrest Gump. And one of the reasons why the teenagers are upstairs. All right, Larry, tell them the teenagers are upstairs. One of the great movies I love is the movie Forrest Gump. Y'all remember Forrest Gump had a girlfriend by the name of Jenny. And y'all remember what Jenny told Forrest? She said, Forrest, when war break out, just do me one favor. Oh, y'all ain't saying, what? Run, Forrest, run. Don't just run. I want you to run. And sure enough, Forrest had a friend by the name of Baba. And y'all remember Baba and Forrest made a deal. They said, we're going to have a shrimp business. Fry shrimp, steam shrimp. Y'all got to see the movie. I see you do it. Hello, sir. And sure enough, they went to war. Baba and Forrest went to war. And sure enough, war broke out. And y'all know what Forrest did. He did exactly what Jenny told him to do. And Forrest started running. He ran and Forrest got to the shoreline. But the problem is, while Forrest is on the shoreline, Baba and all the other fellow soldiers are still in the war zone. And I thank God that Forrest was not one of these church folks who leave their wounded to die. Okay, y'all missed it. Hey, Sam, pay attention. I said Forrest is not one of those people who will leave his soldiers to die. The Bible said that Forrest went and he found somebody. The first person he found is Lieutenant Dan. He goes and he finds Lieutenant Dan, and Lieutenant Dan said, Forrest, leave me. My daddy died in the war. My granddaddy died in the war. But Forrest said, I'm not going to leave you. Not your sister or your brother. Say, I'm not going to leave you. Come on, say, I'm going to come get you. Come on, say, you're not going to die where you are. Forrest goes and he brings out Lieutenant Dan. Then he finds another soldier and he brings that soldier out. And then he finally found Baba. The problem is Baba been hit. But I'm so glad Forrest is not one of these church folks that because you've been hit, they will leave you to die. Forrest picks up Baba, hope against hope, puts Baba on his shoulder and started running through the fire with Baba on his back. Forrest must have been a typology of Jesus because he was wounded for my transgression. He was bruised for my iniquity. The chastisement of my... I told you all I ain't got an organ, but I do have a word. He was wounded for my transgression. He was bruised for my iniquity. The chastisement of my peace was upon him, and by his... Somebody holler, by his stripes. By his stripes I am healed. And y'all remember when he brings Baba, he falls on the shore. Fast forward, Deacon Carl, and we really didn't know what happened until Forrest went to the White House. He went to the White House and he's greeted by the president because he's going to be given a medal. And the president said to Forrest, I heard something happened to you while you were in war. And because Forrest didn't have enough sense to just explain it, he took his pants down and he showed it. He showed his scars. Look at your neighbor and say, later on, I need to see your scars. I need to see where you've been wounded. I need to see where you've been hit. The Bible said that Jesus kept the scars. He showed the scars and he revealed the scars. Did y'all catch what I say? I said he kept it. Stop asking God to remove it. A scar is not the same as a wound. Oh, God, y'all not ready for me. A scar is evidence that the wound been healed. My God. Oh, y'all miss your cue. Look at your neighbor and say, I'm healed, I'm healed, I'm healed. I just got the scars to show it. But the scars is not the same as a wound. He heals the wound, but he leaves the scar. Because somebody needs to know that they overcame Satan by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony. My brothers and sisters, the very thing that wounded him became the evidence that had him overcome. And some of you have been trying to hide your scars. You've been trying to cover your story. You have been trying to minimize what have been thought. I remember when I first shared on a major platform, The Woman That Loose, the fact that I was raped at the age of 14. And I remember some of my family called me and they said, would you stop telling that story? I said, I'll never stop telling. Now, I ain't telling your story. I'm telling. That might not be your story, but this is my story, praising my Savior. All the come on, I'm gonna always tell my story because it lets the devil know you have wounded me, but my wound has been healed, and I only got scars. And I said, if I ever get delivered from it, I'm going to tell every devil, every demon that what the devil meant for evil, God has turned.
He has turned it around for my good. That what he thought would have wiped me out, God uses it. Out of all the books I've written, my #1 best-selling book is Dancing with Broken Bones, because it reveals the brokenness in my life. And people don't want to hear you or see your glory until they know your story. Look at you and say, I got a story. Come on, tell them, I got a story. My story is so dark you don't want to even sit next to me. If you knew my story, you wouldn't even call me anointed or gifted. But I've been learning to win with the hand I've been dealt. And that is part of your winning hand. In fact, your scars are part of your winning hand. Your testimony is not weakness. Your survival is not shame. Your story is not a setback. It is the evidence that you made it. You did not lose, you lived. And if you live through it, you can win after it. I gotta say that again. I said, if you live through it, you can win after it. That brings me to point #3, and that is resurrection power changes your hand. I need y'all to do me a favor. Change hand with your person. That means change your card. Y'all don't never played cards before. Change hand, change hand, change hand. Come on, just keep on changing. Just keep on changing. Switch hand, switch hand. Yeah. Resurrection changes your hand. Mama Sadie, resurrection changes your hand. The same power that raised Jesus from the dead is now working in you. That means, listen real good, that means that you're not trying to win with your own strength. You are not trying to figure it out by yourself. You are not limited to what you see in your hands. I need y'all to see it. Anybody need something? Somebody don't have a card? Raise your hand. Come on, let's get them a card. Lord Jesus, you are not limited to what you see in your hand. I need you to look what I got in my hands. You're not limited to what you see in your hands. Now, y'all looking at this card in my hand, and it does not look like a winning hand to you, but if you know anything about Uno, it means I can call whatever color I want to call. Ooh, Lord have mercy. Y'all miss your cue right there. Yeah. You see, if you got a card like Dr. Butler has, it means you've been skipped, my God. But if you got the card that I got, it means whatever color I want to call, I can call it. I prophesied to somebody in here. You're getting ready to call your future. You're getting ready to call your destiny. You're getting ready to call what amount of money you want to be paid. Am I talking to anybody in here? You are not limited to what you see in your. Come on, look what you got in you. You are not limited to what you see. Larry, let me see. Larry, you got multicolor. I prophesy you're about to live in a living color. God said, I'm not going to restrict you to one color. You're going to be multidimensional. I said you're going to be multiple dimensional. You are going to operate in the marketplace and media. You're going to be in Bank of America and Wells Fargo. I wish I had somebody in here. I said, God is going to expand your territory. He's going to open doors in places you never thought. Now, this is the card everybody wants. This is shuffle hand. That means you got to put all the hands and you got to reshuffle. Everybody pass your card down to the person of the end of the aisle. Pass all your cards to the inside of the aisle. Dr. Butler, start shuffling. Deacon Boswell, start shuffling it. Y'all never played cards in your life. You can tell y'all always been saved, but some of y'all, I can tell you played cards. You from New York. Shuffle the card, and now I want you to redistribute the card. Don't let them see it now. Trace it downwards. You never played cards. You've been saved all your life. Hello, somebody. Y'all got your card? How many of y'all got the same cards? How many of you got the same? How many of y'all got a different card? Let me see you. Can I prophesy to you? Something different is about to happen. I said something different is about. I need at least 10 people to shout right here. Something different is about to happen in my life. Eyes have not seen, ears have not heard. Something different is about to happen. Because even if your hand looks small, you're carrying something powerful. Did y'all catch what I say? Even if your hand looks small, who's got a 2 number? Who's got a 1? Oh my God. You know what you got right there, right? That, you know what, Carl? That's a reverse. Can I prophesy to you? Who got a reverse? Who got, Mama said, let me see. That's a reverse. What you been believing God for, he gonna reverse it. I need 1,000 people. I said 1,000 people to holler reverse, 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 reverse. You ain't got to go to a card reader. I'll be your card reader. You don't need a palm reader. I'm the palm reader. All I'm trying to tell you, you have power to rise again, power to recover, power to rebuild, power to start over. And that changes everything, because now you are not playing life from a place of limitation. You are playing from a place of resurrection. Oh, we don't need the cue cards. You don't worry about it. We got a place. You're not playing life from a place of limitation. You are playing from a place of resurrection. So the question becomes, here it is. If resurrection power is real, if Jesus really got up, if victory is already secure, how do I actually win with the hand I've been dealt? Can I give y'all 3 practical things and then I'll bid you farewell? Number 1, show up even when it doesn't look like a win. Okay, yeah. Show up. Look at me, say show up. But don't you give up. Say show up even when it doesn't look like a win. This don't look like a win to us. There is no sanctuary. There is no choir. There is no praise team. There is no Hammond B3. There is no organ, but you showed up. I said you showed up. Show up even when it doesn't look like a win. Put it in the chat. You see, Mary showed up to the tomb while it was still dark. She did not wait for clarity. She did not wait for the sun to shine. She did not wait for confirmation. She did not wait for things to make sense, my God. She showed up carrying grief. She showed up carrying grief. I don't know what you've been carrying, but you still showed up. Stephanie, you're carrying grief, but you showed up. You're carrying sickness, but you showed up. You're carrying problem, but you showed up. She showed up carrying grief, and yet she still moved. Oh, look at you and say, you got to still move. Oh, the trick of the enemy is to get you to sit still. And I'm not trying to rebuke those of you in Zoom, but when I say come out, I mean come out, because some of you are stuck and you're too still. You're too casual on Sunday. You got to get the blood going. You got to get movement going. You got to move activity, because if you don't move, you die. I wish I had somebody in here. I said, if you don't move, you die. She showed up. Look at you and say, I don't care what you got on. Just show up. Say, I don't care what you got on. Just show up. I don't care if you're running late. Show up. I don't care if you miss breakfast. Show up. Because when you show up, God's going to show out. Y'all miss your cue right there. I said, when you show up, God is going to show up. And because she showed up, she became the first to witness the resurrection, which means your showing up matters more than you think. Did y'all hear what I say? Songman, give me some on my monitor. I said, your show up matters more than you think. I put it in Facebook. Don't come to serve at 6:30, but show up. Oh, y'all didn't get the email? Y'all didn't check me on Facebook in the village? I said, don't show up to usher. Don't show up to greet. Don't show up to be a parking attendant. Don't show up because you're presiding, but you're welcome to. You get an opportunity because your showing up matters more than you think. You don't know how much it matters to me. I don't need no music. You don't know how much it matters to me that when you show up, not to serve, not to be a preacher, just show up. Now you can't show up in Paris. You can't show up when I'm preaching all around the world, but surely the DMV. Because it matters more than you think. You don't think it matters. You don't think I don't see. You don't think I don't feel. But it matters more than you think. And you know, I've grown a weak church. I've given you a passing grade. I've given you an easy way out. Just catch me online. Just catch me on Facebook. So at the seven last word, well, they're announcing every church pastor and their members to stand. Or just take it as a godly rebuke. I want you to know your showing up matters to me. It matters more than maybe I'll let you know. But it matters. So when I'm posting and flying and emailing and texting and videoing, I'm trying to tell you, I need you to come and show up for me like I show up for you. Let this resurrection be a new beginning. I ain't got time to send a pigeon over your house. I don't have time to send a dove over your. I ain't got time to send a horse. If you see me on a flyer in the DMV, I need you to. And I want to say thank you for showing up on this morning, because it matters more than you think. You do not show up because it looks good. You show up because God is still working. You pray when you feel nothing. You serve when you're tired. You obey when it's unclear, because sometimes your breakthrough is waiting for your presence. My God, I gotta get out of here. I gotta get out of here. Your breakthrough is just waiting for your. Sometimes you miss your breakthrough because you're not in the right place. You're not in the right space. You're not in the right environment. Oh my! But sometimes showing up is just part of winning. You ain't even got in the getting game. You ain't even got to read the scripture, because you showed up this morning. You speak volume to me, because whenever you're on a winning side, you still show. I think Tamika is here and Tyrone, and I found out when I take Cam and Chloe, particularly Chloe, to track meal, she don't have to run till 3, but we got to be there at 6 a.m. I say, what the rakatalamasi? What in the world is that? And Tyrone and Tamika told me, they said, yes, although track and field is an individual sports, they want you to show up because they want to create a team environment. Look down your row, so we all on the same team. If one of us are in the game, you may not be in the game, but everybody got to show up, because you never know when I'll throw you the mic, Frederica, when I'll throw you the mic, Pastor Shannon, while I may need somebody else to do something. You show up. And you got your lacing tie up. My God, I will show up. Somebody holler, I will show up. Even in the dark. Come on, say, I will show up. Even in the dark. I'm not just going to show up. I will not shut up. Come on, tell. Say, when I think of the goodness of Jesus and all that he's done for me, my soul. Y'all see me on IG? Y'all see I got 52,000 people watching one clip at First Baptist Church of Glen Arden when Pastor Jenkins was preaching. I wasn't scheduled to preach that Sunday. I was on my way home. God said, I want you to go to Glen Arden, just show up. I did not know that he was exhausted that day. I did not know that fatigue had stepped in. And First Lady Trina said she was sitting there praying him through. And he started saying, I can't even remember the points that I have preached the last two sermons because I'm too tired. I was not sitting in the clergy seats. I was sitting with the choir on the side. But because I showed up, he looked over 2,000 people in the audience. I showed up and he said, Jazz, what you doing here? Come get this mic and finish this sermon. Now, Pastor Jenkins has 275 preachers. The indictment is, where were they? God, y'all not ready. 275 preachers, and you left your man of God to preach all three sermons by himself. Where were you on the golf course? Where were you at Costco buying grocery? Where were you getting gas? Can I preach up in here? And sometimes your victory is just in showing up. They may not pick you, but you show up. They may not give you the miracle, but you show up. They may not give you the promotion, but they show up. And that's what happened to me when I came to this country. All I did was show up at the embassy. The man kept on denying me. Y'all know my story. He denied me 7 times. But you know what made him change his mind? He said, if I say no again, I think I'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, because I believe in showing up. And listen, show up for the people who show up for you. And stop showing up for trifling people who ain't showing up for you. Show up for the people who show up for. Come on, say, I'm going to show up. Come on, say, I'm going to show up. Here's number 2. Here's number 2. Release what you can't control and trust God. Lord have mercy. What did I say? Release what you can't control and trust God. There was a stone placed in front of the tomb. It was sealed. It was secure. It was guarded. And yet God moved it. Oh, y'all missed it. Here's the truth. Lean forward. There are some things in your life you do not have the power to fix. Lean forward. Let me tell it to you. There are some things in your life you do not have the power. How many of you got something you've been trying to fix and you ain't got the power? Let me see your hand. Yeah. There are some, and if you are not careful, you will exhaust yourself trying to control what only God can control. But the resurrection teaches you God can move what you cannot. Okay, y'all missed it. Y'all missed your cue. I said God can move. God can move people that you cannot. So stop stressing over what is not your assignment. Your job is obedience. Oh, I got to get out of here. Your responsibility is to trust and obey, for there is to be happy in Jesus, but to God's responsibility is the outcome. We've been so close every time to building, this close, this close, this close, this close. And I realized, listen, I can pull a building out of my hat. I can't control when it's going to happen. But I can control so and so it happens. I can control being ready for when it's happened. Because you don't wait till the whistle blow to get in shape. Oh, y'all miss your cue right there. And this Easter was a test of if we're ready. Because if you can't be ready in a core, you ain't ready for a crowd. My God. Oh, God. Last night I went to Glen Arden's church. Friday I was at Matthew Watley's church, Kingdom Fellowship. Saturday I was at Glen Arden. And I go because, yes, I want a word, but I want to see what excellent look like. And on my way home, Lamosa, I called my friend Pastor Vida, and I said, girl, I saw this 2 different church, one AME, one Baptist. One was Friday, one Saturday. One had a choir, one had production. I said, but oh girl, I can tell the difference because they both operated in the spirit. I am in the middle of the sermon on Friday. I'm getting ready to do my word. And Cam and Chloe, I say, Evelyn, go get them. She go get Cam and Chloe out of children's church. And Chloe says, why, Auntie Jazzy, why you send Evelyn to get us? Can we go back? What, Chloe? What was happening in children's church that you who don't like to go to children's church wants to go back? Although I just told you it ended and you didn't have your iPhone. I said, I want y'all to write me a paragraph. Hello, somebody. Of what was happening in that room that you didn't even want to hear Auntie Jazzy do the 5th word. Are y'all hear what I'm saying? And so I left there on Friday, went to Glen Arden on Saturday, and the same ingredient that I saw on Friday, I saw it on, oh God, I saw it on Saturday. And today, Glen Arden is doing 4 service. They did 5 this weekend because of the crowd. 1 was on last night, and last night Pastor Jenkins asked them, please don't come back on Sunday. Now, it's the same production, all services. You only gonna catch it. No new sermon. It's the same thing, the same song, the same production, and yet it will be 5 different crowds. And I stood in the parking lot on Friday with Chad, trying to get out. Took us 30 minutes. Stood in the parking lot on Saturday, and I said, God, what is it? What's the difference between a good church and a great church? My God. Yeah. And there's some things we cannot fix. We can't fix the fact we ain't got a building, but we can fix how we come in this building. Oh, Katalamasike. I'm sorry. We can't fix some stuff. We leave that up to God. But what we can fix, look at me and say, we got to fix it. Oh, we got to say, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, and the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know I don't have an organ, I can't fix that. I don't have a praise team, I can't fix that. I don't have an A and B selection, I can't fix that. I can't control the thermostat, so I can't fix that. But there is one thing I know I've got that I can use to the glory of God. And as long as I got breath in my body, I'm going to do what he tells me to do. He told me at the beginning of this year, come out of Zoom and go in the building. I said, but I ain't got a building. He said, use what you already got. And we ain't supposed to be in here every Sunday, but God rolled the stone back that we can come in here every Sunday, and we are in here on an Easter Sunday. Look at your neighbor, say, fix what you can and leave the rest up to God. Well, here's the last thing before I bid you farewell, and that is use what you have right now. Come on, look at you and say, use what you have right now. Listen, y'all, I could wait till next year to preach as strong as I'm preaching this year. I can wait till next Easter when I got lights, camera, and action to go hard. But next year is not promised. The Bible says after the resurrection, Jesus shows up to the disciple and they were still afraid. They were still unsure. They were still processing everything, and yet he sent them anyway. He does not wait for them to be perfect. He uses them as they are. The Bible said he breathes on them and said, receive the Holy Ghost. And he said, I send you out, which means that you do not need a perfect hand to win. And by the way, the difference with Kingdom Fellowship on Friday and my God, First Baptist Church of Glen Arden and VGC, the both of them, Kingdom Fellowship and Glen Arden, has the same DNA, and the DNA is this: practice makes perfect. No, it makes permanent. Okay, y'all missed it. I said practice doesn't make perfect. It makes permanent. I was watching the game. I was watching the play. I was watching the practice on yesterday before the game, the Wayne, at 3 o'clock today. This was the first time I saw they had open practice. So we get to see the team practicing. Why are you showing us practice on Saturday when the game is on Sunday? The game today is going to be more meaningful because you're going to see what they did in the game. They did it. Oh, y'all missed it. They did it in practice. So when she gets the ball, she don't have to wonder if to make a layup, because she know if she gets the ball in this position, her first move is a layup. If she gets the ball at the 3-point line, she can pivot left, pivot right. But she got already it in her. You don't wait till you get in the game to practice your move. You got to practice before you get in the game. So look at your neighbor. Say, neighbor, look what I'm going to do when the Lord brings me out.
The Lord brings me out. Look.
What you going to do? Let me see what you're going to do in this building. Let me see what you're going to do in this building. Let me see. You need to surrender your hand. And some of you are waiting for everything to get right. Every time visitors come in here, it's a reminder that they're not looking for a perfect church. Y'all waiting for the perfect setup to invite people. You waiting until you feel ready. You waiting until you feel confident. You waiting until everything lines up. Some of you can't come over yet, Pastor. I'm still unpacking. I'm still cleaning up. But God is not waiting on perfection. He's looking for availability. So use what you have. Start where you are. Move even if you don't feel ready. Because God can do more with your yes than he can do with your hesitation. Look at you and say, I'm going to win with the hand I've been dealt. I'm going to win with the hand. Raise your card high. If you need one, raise your hand. They'll give you one. I will use what I have right now. I will use what I have right now. And I will win. And I will win with the hand. With the hand I've got. Keep your hands lifted. Mary showed up in the dark. God rolled the stone away. And Jesus used an imperfect hand. An imperfect people, which means winning with your hand is not about having more. It's about trusting God with what you got. And you are not behind. You're not disqualified. You're not lacking. You don't need to change hand. You got the right hand. You are equipped because resurrection power is working in you right now. That means that whatever hand you've been dealt, you can win with it. My mama wasn't here. You can win without her. My daddy was trifling. You can win. You lost a job. You can win. This is not the end of your story. This is the beginning of your comeback. And if you've been frustrated with your hand, look at your hand. If you've been comparing your hand, if you've been doubting the hand you've been dealt, this is your moment. Because Jesus did not just get up for himself. He got up to take your losing hand and make it into a winning. Uno. 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 And look, uno out. I said uno out. I said uno out. Uno. Oh, y'all still sitting at the table? Y'all should be shouting uno out, 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 out. Y'all still shout. You ought to be praising God that you got it. You got a winning hand. You got a winning hand. You got a winning hand. Tell him uno out, 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 uno out. Come on, tell him it's I'm gonna win with the hand I got. You can leave them on the floor. Hey, give me that 4 right there. See that? Ooh, don't mess with that one. Oh, don't mess with this one. This is a dangerous one. When you have this one, ooh, how many of you ever played Uno? This one, you got this one, you can do some damage with it. Chad was with us the other day, and me, Cam, and Chloe had these. He had to take 16. And Chloe always changing the game. When she has these, you can only take 4. When we have them, it's 16. But she finds a way to win, even with the... Did anybody get blessed this morning? Just touch somebody, say it's my winning season.